Hi, this is Audrey from the recipe website 2pinkpeonies.com. Today, I wanted to share one of my favorite banana bread recipes with you. Today, we're going to be making coconut banana bread. Now, this banana bread actually tastes like coconut, not just a hint of coconut. And we're going to make it in, that's right, a bundt cake pan because it'll stay extra moist this way. Now, if you don't have a bundt cake pan, you can use two loaf pans. I recommend using the smaller 8x4 pans instead of the regular 9x5 pan. But I think making it in the bundt pan makes it ultra moist. All right, so the first thing is you're going to want to spray your bundt pan really well with nonstick spray. I actually use coconut oil since this is coconut banana bread. Why not? I sprayed it really well because of all the little grooves and stuff. We want to make sure our banana bread comes out nice and clean. Okay, so let's get started on our banana bread. I will include all the measurements and quantities in the notes below. So don't worry about getting, the exact measurements and everything right now. Just refer to the show notes below. All right, so the first thing is we're going to mix our dry ingredients. I have all-purpose flour. I have baking soda, baking powder, and salt. I have brown sugar, and then I have regular sugar. Now, this is not a health food recipe. There is a lot of sugar in this recipe. And then our final dry ingredient, this is what gives it a lot of its coconut flavor. This is instant coconut pudding. This is the smaller box, 3.4 ounces. So when you're at the store, make sure you get the instant pudding. Don't get the cook and serve. And you don't want to get the big box, get the 3.4 ounce box. Now, if you can't find the coconut pudding at the store, I've made this with vanilla and French vanilla, and it's not as coconutty, but it's still a really good flavor and it really helps bring the coconut out in the recipe. Okay, so I'm going to add this right in. And then I'm going to stir everything with this large spoon. We're going to mix everything with a hand mixer too once we add the wet ingredients in. So I'm going to give it a good stir. That way no one gets like a big bite of salt, no one gets a big bite of brown sugar, salt, baking powder, what have you. You want to just gently mix everything. My brown sugar is kind of lumpy today. Right. All right, so we have the dry ingredients. Now we're going to add in our wet ingredients. We have some oil. I use vegetable oil. You can also use any other neutral oil. Coconut oil works. I've got 3 eggs beaten. And then I've got 3 bananas that I mashed with a fork. And then I'm going to mix everything up with my hand mixer. All right, so I've got everything nice and mixed. Got my large spoon. And then I'm going to stir in most of the coconut. I'm going to save a little bit because we're going to add some on top. It has a tendency to sink while it bakes, and that's why we're going to add it on top, so we don't just get coconut flakes at the bottom. All right, so I'm just going to stir this in, and then I'm going to pour it into my bundt pan, and I'll show you what to do after that. All right, so I've got it poured into my bundt pan, and then I've got the remaining coconut flakes, and I'm just going to sprinkle them on top. Is about 1/4 cup extra. I'm going to cover with some aluminum foil, and I'm going to bake this for 55 minutes at 350 degrees or until a toothpick comes out clean in the middle. So I usually bake mine for 55 minutes, but because ovens can vary, it might take yours a little bit longer, maybe even a little bit less, but I recommend checking around the 55-minute mark. All right, so this is what it looks like when you slice into it. Be sure to let it cool before you slice into it so it comes out of the pan easily. It is very coconutty. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me know how it goes in the comments below.